All right, guys. So today, we're going to be rebuilding and refreshing our shock therapy billet race rack. I go through it usually, every 1,500 miles or so, just throw some fresh grease in it. This time we're going to be adding a couple new shims. It's got a little bit of slop in the steering, so called shock therapy. They sent out some new shims just to help kind of get rid of that play a little bit. While we're in here, also going to be replacing the inner tie rods, which are just threaded heim joints, so that way they're not getting bad yet. They do have a whole lot of miles on them though, so it's we're getting it ready for racing, so may as well. We're gonna be here, let's just do it. All right, what are you gonna need? So 4mm hex socket, a 1/4 inch hex, and an 8mm hex. Yes, we're mixing metric and standard. And a 1/2 inch, just regular. Oh, it has to be a 12-point socket. Doesn't have to be deep, but a 1/2 inch 12-point. So, and then obviously gonna need impact guns, gonna need some rags. We're gonna be using some red Loctite when we put it all back together. So let's get started. All right, first things first. We are going to take off this lock bolt, basically. Holds these two tabs on, which keep these two bolts from backing out. So we'll take that out, then we're going to break these loose, and then we can take this whole steering part off of here. Then after that, we will break loose all of these that hold both halves together. 4mm, break this little guy loose, take both of these tabs off right here, set those aside. After that, I am not sure if 3/8 gun is going to do it. Nope. Not going to happen. We all like to live dangerously. Chrome sockets on an impact. All right, let's take these all the way out. So I'm trusting that because you guys own this and you're needing to rebuild it, means you know how to get this thing in and out of the car. So that's why I'm not going into that at all. There we go. Get that free. Actually, set that aside for now. Right, we will set this aside for now. Now we have both of those out. Let's take off these end caps. So end caps again, 4mm. Take this one off as well. So last time I put blue Loctite on these, just because they don't get torqued down very much, and I was a little worried about having to break them loose. I was a little bit worried if I put red on them, I might break them. So let's take this part here. Looks like we need to back. There we go. should be able to pop these ends off. There's one. Oh yeah. Nice and greasy. Good. When I got this from Shock Therapy originally, like the first time I tore it apart, there was like no grease in it. It was dang near dry. So dry, in fact, it was actually like there was some rust on the inside. So, let me grab a rubber mallet. All right. This is just held on with Permatex. I could have grabbed a shorter socket or shorter screwdriver. There it goes. All right. Got those off, set all that aside because we're going to go through at the very end and we'll clean everything up. Now, let's split this in half. So these are going to be your 1/4 inch. There we go. Now, let's see if we can split this thing in half. So if I remember right, all of these fasteners were exactly the same length. There were no different lengths or anything like that. So we can throw all those in the pile. Now to split it. Piece of cake. All right. So if I remember right, this thing is tapered. Right. So just I'm taking it out of here. So that's how it goes back in there. So you have your worm gear over here for your steering, you know, input basically, and it rides along this. So that's how it'll go back together. Right, the thin, narrow end of this goes towards the front. So set that aside to be cleaned up. Take out this bronze bushing here, or brass. There we go. That's ready to clean up. Now, like I said, the last time I tore this apart, there was a bunch of rust on, you know, that main gear, the big tool steel piece. And now there's not, because it's been properly greased. So next step is I'm going to clean all this stuff up, and we'll be back at it in a second. All right, now one piece that I forgot to do is take out this worm gear. So that'll be 4mm. Push that out. There we go. Voila. For the cleanup, just gonna wipe everything down. Good old-fashioned WD-40. Really easy on finishes and really easy on, you know, metals and stuff like that. So first thing I'll do is wipe off all the main grease, and then after that we'll go back over it with WD-40 and make it shine like new.